May 30th, 2014. I was finally able to convince my mom to take me to the store so I can buy the new Mario Kart game. It was the escape I needed, being released on my dad's birthday, who had just kind of been in and out of the hospital that year since February. Put the disc into my Wii U and spend the night going through the brand new 32 courses. While Mario Kart 8 didn't start out as one of my favorite games, it had a lot of time to grow on me. I have nearly spent 12 years with the game, counting the time I spent excited for its release since being announced in 2013. It took everything I loved about my current favorite Mario Kart and added so much personality for it. And then the game kept growing. Between the first waves of DLC, the deluxe upgrade, and then the booster course pass, it felt like the game that never ended. But finally, as we have a new Mario Kart game on the horizon, I just want to give a tribute and talk about this game that has occupied nearly half of my life. If you like this video, please vroom vroom over to that like button to show me people are enjoying this content. And this is the first video I've made like this, and it would also help me to know if people will enjoy more of them. If you'd like to hear more of me rambling, please subscribe as well. I mostly do Let's Plays of the latest Nintendo games, so if you want more content on the latest Nintendo Switch 2 games, drift over to that subscribe button as well. Now, before we get into the details of Mario Kart 8, let's talk about my history of being a Mario Kart fan. Because surprising as it was with me being a big gamer that got into gaming with Mario, I would never start out as a fan of Mario Kart. I played many racing and or car games with my dad, like Driver, Hot Wheels, Vanishing Point, but it wasn't until I really started watching YouTube videos that my interest in Mario Kart was piqued. I would watch Mario Kart Wii videos, but never decided I wanted Mario Kart Wii. No, at this point I was a handheld gamer to the core. I wanted Mario Kart DS. Can't remember exactly if it was my birthday or Christmas, but my dad came through for me and got me Mario Kart DS. Actually, it had to have been Christmas. The game was wrapped in a box under the tree, and I carefully pulled the game out, inconspicuously unwrapping the box and checking the present hidden inside. The problem though, I actually forgot to put the game back into the box, so that was a fun experience for my dad and stepmom who found it, and then eventually me when I opened an empty box on Christmas morning. Played the game to death with it being my first Mario Kart game, and I did not realize that there were courses from prior games at the time. It wasn't until I played Mario Kart Wii at a friend's house and saw the DS courses I knew by heart that is actually what the retro courses are. And from there my love grew. I got Mario Kart Wii pre-owned, which I actually do not like as much because the floatiness of the game, it's like too sportsy for me. Can't quite explain it. And eventually through emulation and virtual console, played Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Super Circuit, and once I got a GameCube, I also played Mario Kart Double Dash. The 3DS was announced was two things that really piqued my interest. The new 3D Mario platformer inspired by my favorite game Super Mario Bros. 3, and Mario Kart 7 with its brand new land, sea, and air mechanics. And I can customize my kart pieces. This is going to be a great Mario Kart game. Still being the handheld gamer that I was, this quickly became my favorite Mario Kart game. Then came 2013. It was summer break and we were approaching my favorite time of year, E3. I would spend the entire week watching coverage from Nintendo themselves and my YouTube gaming news channels. Then the trailer started, the new Mario Kart game. I see some of my favorite things, Music Park, Piranha Plant Slide. Then I see Mario driving upside down, anti-gravity, driving up walls. While Luigi goes underwater, Luigi has a hang glider. Everything from my favorite game is coming back. Then the logo, Mario Kart 8. I watched so much information regarding this game that E3. So many grainy camera shots of people playing in the demo booth. To the point I memorized the 3 courses that they played. Then, every trailer after, I was watching it multiple times, first thing it was released. Watching different YouTubers analyze them to death. Having the courses memorized months before the games were even released. Learning how anti-gravity switches everything on its head by getting speed boosts, running into other racers. Watching people play 8 new courses and 8 retro courses. Seeing the trailer where the Koopalings are introduced on Electrodrome and the Super Mario Bros. 3 fangirl inside me squealed. Watching the Mario Kart 8 Direct where they go over new items, Mario Kart TVs, customizable carts, ATVs, and so much more. But this was just leading up to the game. I remember putting the game into my Wii U and starting to play. Booted up and there are 16 base characters with the starting cups. I knew exactly how I wanted to play this game. You unlock a Miiverse stamp when completing a Grand Prix with a character. There's 32 Grand Prix across different CCs and 30 characters. I do 1 Grand Prix per character. And since you unlock a new character after every Grand Prix, I will just use my new character each time I get one. Pick Luigi to start and go into the Mushroom Cup in 50cc. Get first place, win my Luigi stamp, and unlock Larry as my first unlockable playable character. I play all 8 50cc cups and decide it's time to play online for the first time. I play one race and the world is just excited as I am, as it seems to shake. Wait, no, that can't be right. What actually happened is my hometown experienced a 5.0 magnitude earthquake, the first earthquake of my life, and one of only like 2 or 3 earthquakes I've ever experienced. Maybe the world was exciting. Then, later that year, Nintendo announced that there would be DLC for the game, for $12, meaning it was a total of $72 for the entire game. But this DLC was special. It added other Nintendo franchises in courses and characters, Zelda, Excitebike, Animal Crossing, and F-Zero, making my favorite game that much better. Then, on the newest Nintendo console, the Nintendo Switch was being revealed, showing Mario Kart 8 with a brand new character on the screen. Little weird. Then finally the deluxe version was revealed, adding Splatoon characters and an updated battle mode. Not enough to justify me getting the game. Funnily enough, I started a job about a month before this game was released, so it doesn't hurt to pre-order it off Amazon. And now I own the newest edition of Mario Kart 8 for another $60 spent. But at this point, that was it. I waited for the Switch's new Mario Kart game for years, and it never came. Instead, in 2022, Nintendo announced a Booster Course Pass DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for $25, or for Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass for $50 a year for an individual membership, or $80 for a family membership, so at least $85 for the entire Mario Kart game. Good thing the newest Mario Kart game is the full package for cheaper. 48 courses in my beloved Mario Kart 8. What could go wrong? But we will talk about that in a bit. While rewatching promotional materials to get ready for this retrospective, I realized the start of the Booster Course Pass is 3 years old already, and now I'm old. Now let's talk about all the features of the game, one by one, and explain how I feel about them, starting with the random features. Miiverse stands. Do you remember Miiverse, the social media platform on Wii U and eventually the 3DS? I do, because I loved Miiverse. I really wish Nintendo would bring it back or something similar back. Some games around this time had special Miiverse stamps that you could use on your posts, including Mario Kart 8. I mentioned you could get one of these every time you finish a Grand Prix with a certain character. There are also some unlocked by doing time trials or buying the DLC, or just the ones initially unlocked. Here's the ones I have unlocked in my original save file of the original game. Next is Mario Kart TV. This was cool on the Wii U because you can make a highlight clip of your favorite races you had. I used it a lot to make fun clips. It was also cool because it showed how the Lakitu cameramen were filming things because they themselves weren't upside down, even when you were driving in anti-gravity upside down. It helps you see when you're not even realizing you're doing it because it's so seamless in the actual game. Nintendo also let you upload these clips to Miiverse or YouTube, which I did a few times. This was my beginning time on YouTube, so if you go to Arm Bulbasaur level, you could probably find 1 or 2 of the clips I uploaded back in the day. I played with this a lot in the original game, but I think I only saved like 6 clips in the deluxe version, and that was all in the first month. Then there are online races, which I wish I could say I played more. I definitely did not spend as much on time in this entry as I did with Mario Kart Wii or Mario Kart 7. But I did recently get to 3000 VR to get to try in 200cc races, but I cannot remember if I've actually done any in an online race. I never did many online battles in either game, but I'm pretty sure my BR is low. I do like that they changed the course selection to 3 courses, and the random of 96 courses was simultaneously less and more chaotic. There's also a stat screen, but I will go into that later. Lastly, there are the time trials. There's a staff ghost for every course in the game, both 150cc and 200cc in the deluxe version. And I've actually beat every base game's staff ghost for 150cc, but more on that later. Now, the people you will be playing as the entire game, the characters. The base Mario Kart game had 30 characters, which was the most of any game up to that time. So let's go through them one by one. Mario, it's his game, I expected him. Luigi, he's kinda comes along with his brother. Peach, She is also kind of always here. Daisy, my fave of the princesses, but that left Starry after this game released. Yoshi, the bestest dino, and with so many colors after the initial DLC. Toad, hi, I'm Toad! Koopa Troopa, love that he's included even if his double jazz partner isn't. Shy Guy, glad he can be played in all of the colors. Baby Mario, he's here with his older counterpart. Baby Luigi, the beggar of the babies. Baby Peach, she exists. Baby Daisy, did you know she was introducing Mario Kart Wii? Bowser, you have to have the villains. Donkey Kong, the original monkey. Wario, need the rival of the main guy. Waluigi, and the spin-off game star. Rosalina, Ms. Space Mommy herself. Lego Mario. This is a lot of Marios. Lakitu, now he can lift himself off the course. Toadette, did you know she is the only unlockable character that was in the original E3 demo? Baby Rosalina, this is her first game, though why not young Rosalina from the storybook? Peach Gold Peach, this is also her first game, and kind of random. Iggy, yay my Koopalings, the weirdly tall one, though. Roy is the pink one. Lemmy is the ball one. Larry is the basic one. Wendy is the worst of the Mario 3 boss fights. Ludwig is the memorable one. And Morton is the salty one. And then the Mii, which you can play as yourself if you want, if you're boring. But there are all these cool costumes they added, and even more in the deluxe version with the amiibo. Then there was the waves of the DLC, where we get another 6 characters to the original Mario Kart 8. Tanuki Mario, Brittany's favorite character, and now you can have 4 Marios on the track. Cat Peach, and 4 Peaches, what a party! Link, Mr. Zelda himself, and you got a Breath of the Wild alt costume in the deluxe version. Villager, I like that there are variants here so you can be a boy or a girl. Isabelle is my favorite Animal Crossing character, so I play with her and her scooter a lot. And then Dry Bowser, he exists. I forgot he was in the game, especially the base game. And then with the release of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, we got even more characters. We got Dry Bones, Comet favorite that I didn't even realize he was only a deluxe character. And King Boo is the character that informed us of the deluxe version. Bowser Jr., I'm really surprised he wasn't in the original when the Koopalings were. Gold Mario, now there's 5 Marios on the track. Inklings, I like that there are so many variants, again, and they come with some cool cars. Then to I think a lot of people's surprises, the Booster Course Pass even brought more characters starting with like the 3rd or 4th wave. Burgo got the Yoshi and Shy Guy treatment. Piggy Piranha, I thought he was one of the characters that did not make the cut from old games, but apparently he was in here. Wiggler, also weirdly tall, but Wiggler on Wiggler action. Kamek, Magical Driver, Mario Kart 64 Beta come true. Peachette, is this another Peach or another Toadette? 5 Peaches too. Diddy Kong, I am honestly surprised it took him this long to get into the game. Funky Kong, never played as him in Mario Kart Wii, but I heard a lot of people wanting him back. Pauline, the OG damsel, and the original trio are back together again. This brings the total characters to 42 minus all the variations, which is honestly huge, and I cannot believe it's getting even bigger in the next game. Rest in peace to the ones that didn't make it, besides Paratroopa, DK Jr., Rob, Honey Queen, and this is not including Mario Kart Tour characters, or the ones from arcade, but I'd love to see Pac-Man, or the little drum guy in the mainline Mario Kart games. Let's go, Nameco. While we are in the character selection, let's go over every single vehicle part in this game. I have every single part in the game unlocked. There's even Mercedes vehicle crossover from the original brought over to the deluxe. And there are 4 types of vehicles: karts, standard bikes, and ATVs, which all play pretty much the same, and then sport bikes, which have a similar inside drift to Mario Kart Wii sports bikes. And with all the different parts, there are over 13,000 combinations, but with so many parts and characters sharing statistics, there's not actually that many different, statistical karts. You unlock a part every 50 coins in the original until 1,000 coins, then 1,000 coins until 2,800. In the deluxe version, you unlock a random vehicle part at every 30 coins until 450, then 50 coins until 1,500, then every 100 coins until the final piece is unlocked at 3,100, kind of. There are 3 special parts that have different unlock criteria. The gold standard cart is unlocked by getting at least 1 star on every non-DLC cup in the original, or at least 1 star in all base game mirror cups in the deluxe version. The golden tires are unlocked by beating all 32 staff ghosts in the time trials in the original, or the 48 base in the deluxe version. The gold glider is unlocked at 10,000 coins in the original, but halved to 5,000 in the deluxe. The deluxe also has one unlockable character in Gold Mario, unlocked by getting gold in all base game 200cc cups. Side note, I am a perfect gold star on every single cup in this game, and I am damn proud of that. My favorite character in kart combination is this, my precious Daisy on the Circuit Special with Cyber Slick tires and the orange-pink parasol. I will sometimes switch the cart out for the P-Dasher or the P-Wing since they all share the same stats, but I love my parasol and my purple tires. If I use the bikes, I tend to use the Flame Rider or Isabelle City Tripper. For ATVs, I honestly love just the standard ATV because of the color differences, and then I never use sports bikes. There's also a lot of driver assist settings in the deluxe version that I never use because I'm a pro. But I will be happy to play with my friends with my niece and nibbling, and they're there to help keep up with me. The auto accelerate in case your fingers get tired, the smart steering to keep you on the course. The one thing I don't like about smart steering is that it will sometimes try and force you on a shortcut you didn't want to take or force you away from one when you're trying to, but I do appreciate the accessibility settings exist. Before getting into the racing, let's go over the items one by one. Mario Kart 8 did this weird thing where if you were dragging an item behind you, you would not get a new item. The deluxe version changed that with the double item storage, which I do appreciate. Coins! I like collecting coins on the track to increase my top speed, adds a little bit more skill to races, though pulling a coin sucks, but in the deluxe version at least you can get something else as well. Green shells. I'm surprisingly good at hitting people with these, and I like the chaos they get from bouncing around. Red shells are imperative for people behind people. Banana has great defense and a silly offense. Why did Banana spin around you with a triple now? Most red shells just go between them. Mushroom. Vroom! Shortcuts. People can use them if they are spinning around you for some reason. Golden mushroom. All the vrooms! Fireflower. Even more green shells? Heck yeah. Star. Invincible vroom. Bloomer. Blooper. I have all these courses memorized by this point. Thank you, though. Ba-bam. Boom! Bad defense, though. Spiny shell. I did not mind them in first, honestly. I also prefer the run along the ground variant to help the person who throws it. So many dodging options in this game, though, which is kind of cool. Adds to the skill. Lightning. Typically helpful for catching up. Bullet bill. Decent for catching up, I think. I've honestly barely pulled these. Boomerang flowers, a new item, fun to throw and fun to throw 3 times. Super horn, it's new, amazing defense, and where did that lightning shocking away? Crazy 8, Mobius! The lucky subbing upgrade gives you a coin, baba, mushroom, star, green shell, red shell, blooper, and banana. And the blooper spews ink underwater. And Boo was added to the deluxe version, which steals an item and makes you invincible for some time. Now, let's get into the bulk of this video. I am going to talk about every single course in this game and how I feel about them pre-release and after release. These are all my opinions before going back and playing all of them again. I am playing them 48 at a time in 200cc with frantic items with my favorite vehicle combination for this footage. Which is something else I forgot. I love that the deluxe customization for races lets you choose your own items. We did an only blue shell race once. It was fun, try it sometimes. Mario Kart game is also the game that introduced 200cc. Let's begin. Mario Kart Stadium. Perfect introduction to the game in anti-gravity, with perfect shortcuts. I love the glider section at the end. As I mentioned before, I watched so many clips of the first 8 new courses and the first 8 retro courses. I memorized them before going into the game. This is such a pumping sound to get your racing started. And fun fact, old Mario Kart games shared song between circuit courses. And because this is the stadium, and there is only one other circuit course, all 32 courses in the base game have different songs. Even if 2 courses share the same motif as this song. Water Park. Honestly kind of bland course looking back, but I think it's a great introduction to underwater sections. It also gives the scope of anti-gravity by driving up the side of the Ferris wheel ride thing. I also like driving through the gift shop. Sweet Sweet Canyon. The concept of going on 2 different overlapping tracks in anti-gravity is used a lot in this game, but it's cool to see it for the first time. I'm a left pass person, which I think is the blue path, but I can't remember. I also saw this course as a course for the babies. This game also has a bunch of companies and sponsors like Mario Motors, and I love that the princesses run the like bakery together. I think it's the Princess Patisserie or something. Thwomp Ruins. I think it was a great way to end the first cup. Has a cool anti-gravity section with like 7 different paths where you can go underwater or glide or go anti-gravity or just stay normal. The song is also pretty great, but it took a while to grow on me. I also like the final glider section because it feels like a finale to that first cup. Mario Circuit, the game that gave us the Mobius strip and the titular 8. It's also one of the 3 courses in the original E3 demo, which I watched to death. I think it's such a perfect way to show off anti-gravity as driving on both sides of the course, even if gameplay you can't really tell that's happening. Though there is that one point on one of the 8s where it's very curvy. This is also the course where you can really see the new 3rd level purple boost that they added in the deluxe version. But overall, it's a double 8. Toad Harbor. Such a chill course with San Francisco vibes. I love the Princess Peach Statue of Liberty that can be seen from this course and other courses. This game has the connecting world like Double Dash, but definitely not to the extent of the new Mario Kart. It is also one of the 2 new courses without mandatory anti-gravity, and I would love to see this track in the new game because of that, but alas, it does not look like it will be the case. Twisted Mansion. A nice follow-up to the DS Luigi's Mansion course. The part where you drive into the flooded mansion or a dead fish tank is pretty cool. I also like that you can go into the glider section from the sideways wall because it messes with my brain a lot. I also like the very start with the bouncy red carpet thingy. Shy Guy Falls. Oh my god, I love this song. This is one of the courses that I think really takes the anti-gravity to a new level. Being able to drive up a waterfall is amazing, and then drive back down it. I also really like the shortcuts you can take with mushrooms during the final turns. I enjoy how you can hear the Shy Guys working as you pass them, and they work in time to the music. Sunshine Airport. I remember this course being revealed in a weird trailer that just had music playing over clips of the 5 tracks revealed in the trailer. But what's cool about this course is the board's displaying flights of boarding and departing flights, showing courses we had not yet heard of when the trailer first came out. And some retro courses too. The glider section where you fly next to the plane is also a perfect feeling of the scope of this course. I did not realize until writing this, but it fits the airport aesthetic perfectly, something I did not realize since I had not flown in an airport when this game first came out. Dolphin Shoals is by far my least favorite of the original 16 courses. I do not like this weird floaty pipe part here because it just feels slow and weird. I also have trouble getting first on this track, but I cannot explain why. Some positives though, I do enjoy jumping with the dolphins and the 2 completely different soundtracks for underwater and above water. And it's cool that you start the course underwater, and I love the amazing shortcut at the very end, which I'm hoping I'm able to pull off. You'll see it here if I can. Electrodrome. This is the course I associate with the Koopalings because of their reveal trailer, but the colors and the party vibes are strong with this course. It essentially serves as a 3rd main circuit course based on the musical vibe. I also love the shimmering sound it makes on the anti-gravity section, like you are driving on a disco ball, and the dancing piranha plants. The vibe is there. Mount Wario. This track music is amazing, especially the 3rd part of the track, which is the second half of the second lap. I also love the single lap courses that were in Mario Kart 7 and Wasag, Maka Woohoo, or Woohoo Island did not make it into the base game. But I am happy we got a new start to finish course with such a scope of racing down a mountain, especially since you're starting in the helicopter in the final ski slope area. No. Yeah, starting in the helicopter and then that final ski slope area. Cloud Top Cruise. This course was revealed alongside the musical Sunshine Airport trailer being the final course showing off the Gusty Garden Galaxy motif of the song. My favorite course in the DS version of the game was GBA Sky Garden because of the colors and music, so getting an updated version of that with my beloved airships were so great. And the fact it is a beanstalk coming out of a question mark block is so Mario and so perfect. I also love this little leaf shortcut, and it also has the 2 different tracks for being in the storm cloud or outside of that. Bone Dry Dunes. This course is alright. It reminds me of Shy Guy Bazaar from Mario Kart 7, but much lamer. It is just so bland and colorless, which I guess makes sense for a desert level, but I wanted some more. It's also the only course without mandatory. It's also the other course without mandatory anti-gravity, but since it's my second least favorite course, I'm okay leaving it in Mario Kart 8. I do like the 2 paths toward the end, but this is another course I struggled to get first on. Bowser's Castle. This game's Bowser's Castle does not disappoint you. The dual path with the big old Bowser statue punching you, the falling rocks, the actual parts inside the castle, the door opening for you as the race begins, beckoning you inside. It was chef's kiss. And it wasn't until it actually was not until playing Bowser's Castle on Mario Kart Wii after playing Mario Kart DS that I learned Bowser's Castles are staples of the racing series. Rainbow Road. Unlike Bowser's Castle, I think this Rainbow Road is actually disappointing. My favorite Rainbow Road is the Mario Kart 7 iteration, with the moon and the Saturn rings and the different set pieces of the one-lap course. They tried to recreate that, but I do not like the space station aspect, but I do enjoy the final double anti-gravity section. Each section feels so different. I guess one of my favorite quote-unquote shortcuts by driving across both tracks, but I think there's a reason the deluxe box art uses N64 Rainbow Road instead of this one. Wii Moo Moo Meadows. One of my biggest Mario Kart memories is actually playing it with my sister and her husband. We liked Moo Moo Meadows because of the cows and the ease of the course. Though it was weird playing this as the first cup after being used to it being the second, but man, I love the music and the subtle changes that came with this version. GBA Mario Circuit, an amazing show of how the new courses can get anti-gravity. The beginning of this course clearly shows a section of the course being lifted that is used for anti-gravity section. I also like the glider after that because of how you can tilt through the shortcuts. DS Cheep Cheep Beach. This was a nice showing of how diverse the courses can be. Do you want to drive above water or underwater? Something that was done a lot in Mario Kart 7. I just do not like the final section with the closed in path, but it's a good starting retro cup course, I guess. N64 Toad's Turnpike. While the course itself is kind of bland, being another 8, they make up for it in the fun interactable vehicles and moving item boxes, and the side anti-gravity paths. I always forget which part of the course I am in though, because everything looks exactly the same, so I end up finishing without realizing. Dry Dry Desert. When I learned this course would be in Mario Kart 8, I played it to death in the original Double Dash. I like that they made a part of it a wet oasis with some fun, interesting jumps. The music is also pretty banger. I just wish the sand pit was a lot more aggressive, similar to the Double Dash iteration. SNES Donut Plains 3, my least favorite of the original retro courses. This course is just really short and does not give you a lot of time to catch up if you had a bad start or get bombarded by items. I do like the part where you can skip an item box set to cut corners, but I'm so used to doing it that I tend to do it even when I need an item to catch up. So maybe I'm just bad at the course. N64 Royal Raceway. This course is great because it's nice and long after the short Donut Plains. The N64 Raceway courses are honestly some of the best circuits in the entire series, so I'm happy they came back for a third installment. I especially like this one's glider section through the hot air balloons and the multiple shortcuts with all the corner cuts on those last turns in the grass. 3DS DK Jungle. Wait a second. The first Retro Cup didn't even have a 3DS course. It's kind of weird. Oh well. This is actually one of my least favorite courses on the 3DS because I had to play the Special Cup over and over to get 3 gold stars. And this course is pretty much unchanged. Really all they did was turn a section to anti-gravity with pretty much the exact same path. But I don't hate it, especially with the DK Returns theming. DS Wario Stadium. I think this course is pretty great, especially with the upgrades. I love driving over the mud pile, I like the anti-gravity, even if I fall off. That's pretty much every time I drive on it in 200cc. I also like the big hill at the end. I used to press the jump button at every jump in Mario Kart DS, so it being the trick button in 7 and 8 is a very welcome decision for me. GCN Sherbet. Land. This one got a very pretty upgrade. I like the nighttime look of the course. I think the underwater section is very pretty, and taken from Mario Kart 7's Rosalina's Ice World. I also like the shortcut during the final ice rink, but not a lot has changed. 3DS Amusement Park. 3DS Music Park. This is my favorite course in Mario Kart 7, so I was so excited to see it be back and upgraded. Except it wasn't upgraded, and they didn't change anything. There's no anti-gravity. There's nothing new. At least it's still fun. It's a really random thing. I don't know why Mario Kart 7 had a ton of Wii game-based courses, but it did. This is based on Wii music. N64 Yoshi's Valley, the craziest course I ever played in Mario Kart. Except they took away some of the crazy in this game. They made it so you cannot accidentally go backwards as often. Also, since the Wii U is more powerful, you no longer have a hidden placing until you finish the race. I wish they kept the hidden placings to add more suspense. I don't want to know if I'm in second place, I want the surprise. I also like the random spinning Yoshi egg at the end, is there for no reason. DS Tick-Tock Clock. This is one of my favorite courses in Mario Kart DS, and I think they did this one justice. They made it so the pendulums no longer clip into the floor and the gears are fun to drive on, and the chaos of the course is beautiful with a theme that makes it feel like a clock. It is much better than the source material. 3DS Piranha Plant Slide. I do not know what they were doing with these 3DS courses. This one is also pretty much unchanged, other than turning some of the original course into an anti-gravity section. I did like the original because it reminded me of 3D Land, especially this final area, but the transition through the waterfall is just so much more disorienting in this version. Wii Grumble Volcano, this course with the weird glitch to finish it all quickly in the original. Honestly, Mario Kart Wii just seemed unpolished in general to me. This was one of mine and my mine and my sister's least favorite courses. But this renewal made it gorgeous and less likely to fall off the pieces of the course that are falling off because you have more control over your character. N64's Rainbow Road. There it is, the true Rainbow Road of this game. And they made it so much better than the original. They made it one lap instead of 3 giant ones. They added an 8 in the map by flipping apart. They took off the guardrails that were everywhere. They added anti-gravity. They made the train throw coins on the track. There are so many other courses you can see on the Earth. And the favorite version of my Rainbow Road theme that I first heard in Mario Kart 7. A beautiful end to the races, and I see why they chose it for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe cover. And with 4 N64 courses in the game, that means the N64 has one course left until every single one has been a retro course. And there are 64 courses to go, let's hope it's in there. And those are the 32 courses from the base Mario Kart 8. And there's one other mode I want to discuss regarding Mario Kart 8, its battle mode. It did not have a normal battle mode, instead it just had balloon battles on 8 of the courses: Moo Moo Meadows, Dry Dry Desert, Donut Plains 3, Toad's Turnpike, Mario Circuit, Toad Harbor, Sherbet Land, and Yoshi's Valley. I didn't mind the battle mode, but the courses were so big it was hard to find the other racers, and the only ones that feel like a normal battle course is Yoshi's Valley because of the branching path. I can see why they wanted to upgrade it in the new version. Now let's talk about the 8 courses added in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Cross the Legend of Zelda. GCN Yoshi Circuit. I do not mind this course, it's a Yoshi-shaped race. But what bothers me about this is they're starting to reuse retro tracks from old games. This one was in Mario Kart DS, and the course itself is basically unchanged if I'm remembering right. I cannot even remember a glider section. I do enjoy the shortcut through the waterfall though. Excite Bike Arena. We are now mixing new and retro courses in the same cup, eh? That's cool. I like this course a lot. It's so trick heavy and it changes every time you race for it. It does have a set form in time trials, however. While it's really hard to fully distinguish what changes each time, it's simple yet fun. Honestly, this game feels like a love letter to all the Nintendo racing games, as we will see. Dragon Driftway. Hey, it's Gobblegut. Why is your course so phallic shaped? Anyway, I actually quite enjoyed this course. The turns are tricky and it's actually really fun on 200cc. It feels like a Mario Kart 8 course, which is amazing. I really don't have much else to say about it. Mute City. See, a love letter to racing games. I played this course before playing any F-Zero, but after playing the original, this is an amazing course inspired by it. With the coins coming from the recovery zones and the whole race being anti-gravity, I love the tight shortcut near the end and also the part where you can see the other racers above you. Makes me really want a new F-Zero game. Wario's Gold Mine. One of the courses I was not a big fan of in the original form, and that carries over to this. And it's just kind of a bland course with nothing racing over itself. The new anti-gravity is a nice touch, but not different enough. I do remember thinking the bats in the original game were Zubats, though, when I was younger. SNES Rainbow Road. This is just a retro track from the last game. Why is it back? At least it's a Rainbow Road, even if it's one of the most bland ones, and there's nothing to say, it's unchanged. Whee! Ice Ice Outpost. I rather enjoy this course. The two tracks being overlapping makes it easy to go between them. I also like the hidden shortcut thingies from falling off the track throughout. The ending is a little too similar to Cloud Cop Cruise for my liking, but definitely a nice second icy course for the game. Hyrule Circuit. The reason people were interested in this DLC, at least to me. They wanted to drive through Hyrule Castle collecting rupees instead of coins, avoiding Deku Babas instead of Piranha Plants, dodging keys instead of the swoops, and I love hitting the crystals to solve the puzzle for the extra path. And with it being a circuit level, it works so well for the off-road shortcuts over the grass. A beautiful way to end the first DLC. Next, we have the Animal Crossing Cross Mario Kart 8 DLC, which is also updated. Which is also the update that added the 200cc to the game. GCM Baby Park, another reused course from Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart DS, what in the world? This one is a little better than that version of it. It is an anti-gravity, so it makes it slightly more chaotic, but it's not as good as the original. What made this course fun to me was the special items everyone had in Double Dash. The giant DK bananas, the Bowser giant shell, Mario and Luigi's fireballs. Without those, it's just a bland 7-lap race. But, Brittany, I'm glad you like it. GBA Cheeseland. I used to hate this course. I could never get first. I had to play the Crossing Cup so many times. But this course really grew on me. I love playing it in 200cc. I love the shortcuts towards the end of the stage that help you catch up. And it took a boring flat GBA course and made it visually appealing and hilly. Wild Woods. I remember this course on the promotional poster flyer thing for the DLC that showed where the course started in anti-gravity thanks to the blue lights. Which was a first at the time until Mute City beat it to it, but driving up the tree and back down was amazing. There's another course that really used the scope of the anti-gravity to its best. I also like the racing on the river and the lily pad portion. The audience watching standing right side up. It was beautiful. Animal Crossing. This is the closest we got to an Animal Crossing on the Wii U, and I think it did enough justice. I love that there are 4 different seasons with minor differences and different music. The different times of day during the seasons is also a nice touch. I also love the autumn sunset. The course itself is honestly pretty straightforward, but the coins are replaced with bells, which is pretty neat. 3DS Bowser City. Oh hey, our 4th 3DS course finally. And you'll never guess, it's pretty much unchanged other than turning a section into anti-gravity. And it was one of my least favorite courses from 7 because I was bad at it. And I'm still bad at it. Had trouble getting in the first of the sharp turns, so it was hard to practice with the rest of the Bell Cup courses. GBA Ribbon Road. When I first played Super Circuit, I thought this was the Rainbow Road because I hadn't unlocked Rainbow Road yet. I'm glad they brought it back to this version because it has that Rainbow Road difficulty. I like the scope of this version. We are small and you can see the life-size versions of the carts we're racing in the background. Or maybe they're giant carts and we're normal sized. And this is another course that's amazing on 200cc. Who knew 200cc is what was needed to make Super Circuit fun? Super Bell Subway. I like the chaos in this course with all the trains. I also love all the different pathways. There are also a lot of fun details in this course, like Sunshine Airport. The graffiti is a nice touch too. It is also a challenging course where I struggled to get first, but in a different way that I do not mind. I like going through the turnstile, I think that's what it's called, to go underground. The detail in the original Mario Kart 8 courses is honestly amazing. Big Blue, another F-Zero course, and it's a start to finish course which I've already mentioned I love. It also adds the fun floaty shortcuts that I like on the base Rainbow Road that I will try and recreate here. But the final lap with the boost belt is so fun and a great send-off to the original Mario Kart 8. And now, we have a deluxe version to talk about. Mainly, it's updated battle mode. I want to go over all the different battle modes and the 5 courses the game has to offer. Not the 5 courses, the 5 battle modes the game has to offer. It even has a new exclusive item to battle mode, being the feather. It lets you hop and steal balloons, coins, and the shine from whomever you jump over. Here, you see me using Rosalina with the B-Dasher and Monster Tires with the Peach Parasol, which was actually my main combo in Mario Kart 8. No, Mario Kart 7. Here are the battle modes. We have Balloon Battle, which is the basic one. Get 5 balloons and you get a point for every opponent balloon you pop, and you can steal balloons. Whenever you lose all your balloons, you lose half of your points and respawn with 3. It's the classic battle mode that I think we all love. Coin runners. Collect coins on the track and get points for the coins you collect. I'm really bad at this mode, but I do enjoy it. I really like hitting people with the shells and watching their coins explode out of them. Some courses are definitely harder than others for collecting coins. But that's something I love in races, is collecting coins. I spend most of the battle hitting other players, like I said. Renegade Roundup is my least favorite battle mode. Half the people are renegades, avoiding the patrol, and the other half are the patrol. The patrol eat the renegades and they go into a cage which can be broken by other renegades. But the patrol almost never wins. You have to get all 6 of them eaten within the time limit. The problem with that is, because they can be let out, it can be really difficult. Maybe in a lobby where they could communicate with each other, it'd be a lot more fun, but in randos or CPUs it's not as fun. I especially dislike the course with only the one cage because it's easy to get all the renegades free, but simultaneously it's also easy to guard the cage, so I don't know. Bob on Blast is just balloon battle, but all the items are these special bombs that immediately blow up when you throw them in front of you and they don't hurt you, and you can have up to 10 at a time. And I like the chaotic explosions. Shine Runners is actually my favorite mode. You have to hold the shine for 20 seconds consecutively, and everyone can see you on the map and tries to hit you, and you move a little bit slower while holding the shine. The timer will keep counting down and you'll remember what time you're at, so if you get hit at 13 and you pick it back up, you'll be at 13 again. But you do have to hold it for 5 seconds at the very end, so if you get down to 2, it'll bring you back up to 5. And the game does not actually end until someone's timer reaches 0, which I think is pretty cool, but I've played some long Shine Runner races. Shine Runner battles. Now let's talk about the battle courses they added, because they actually put some in. First is Battle Stadium. This is a course that I think takes place within Mario Kart Stadium. They both have stadium in the game, it makes sense. I get very lost in this course because I'm honestly not sure how the anti-gravity section to line with everything else. Maybe it's hard to find the cages, makes it hard to find the cages in Renegade Roundup. It's probably my least favorite of the new courses, honestly. Sweet Sweet Kingdom, I like how round this is. Actually, a lot of these courses are pretty round. Going up the castles and hiding is pretty fun in modes where you have balloons, or the shine. Sometimes they just drive off. And I, for some reason, am really good at throwing green shells at people on this course specifically. Overall, it is a great follow-up to Sweet Sweet Canyon. Dragon Palace. I really like the 2 sides of this course, how you're outside the palace and inside the palace. It's one of my favorite places to hide. It's that little ramp to go inside the palace. I like hide in the corner. It just feels very chaotic to hop into the palace as well from that top thing, but there's not too much going on otherwise. Lunar Colony. I love how flowy this one is because of the anti-gravity, especially in relation to being on the moon. And being on the moon reminds me of Mario Kart 7's Rainbow Road, so that's a plus. I do have issues getting item boxes in this course because they're all like floating and I'm floaty. And the craters and floatiness also make it really hard to hit people. 3DS Woohoo Town was my favorite battle course in Mario Kart 7, so I'm happy that it's back. I really like this stage in Coin Runners because that little plaza thing up here and getting all the coins and then hopping off into the fountain of coins is just so fun. The tightness of the path through this town is also chaotic and fun. GameCube Luigi's Mansion is my least favorite of the 3 returning courses. I do not like the 3-layered design of this course because I have issues finding how to go between them. Unless I start on the upper layer, I will never figure out how to get back up there. And I guess I do find it easiest to do in Shine Run up here because everyone else also gets lost. I even feel like the computers do. But I mean, it's Luigi's Mansion, so I guess that's cool. SNES Battle Course 1. The battle courses from the original and Super Circuit are very bland, but they found a way to make this one quite fun. I like the side paths where the glider... side paths with the glider and the places to hide. I like driving up the colorful walls, even if I have issues finding people and items because this course is surprisingly large. I enjoy fumbling around this course. Urching Underpass, the reason the Inkling races are in this game. They actually changed the coins here to credits from the Splatoon, which I did not realize until I was making this. And I enjoy this course a lot. I like that you can go on these side paths that were my favorite thing to ink in Splatoon. Racing off the jumps is fun and hitting people with items from the upper ledges. And it even plays Now or Never in the last minute. This is a very good tribute to Splatoon. And that's it. 2017 and the game of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is finally complete. A real battle mode and every course in one package. I played with my friends for years and even for my YouTube. And then I got bored of the game and only really played it on occasion. Patiently waiting for the next Mario Kart game that I could play blind on recording. Then during the February 2022 Nintendo Direct, I got the surprise of my life. Mario Kart 8 was getting more courses with the Booster Course Pass DLC. There's 48 new courses over the next 2 years. I was excited to play the new Mario Kart courses with my friends, get them recorded. This is what I've been waiting for 8 years at this point. A new Mario Kart. Kind of. And with courses I've never played because I never played Mario Kart Tour. I was so excited. What could possibly go wrong? So now, let's go through these new 48 courses one by one. Tour Paris Promenade. Man, I could tell something was rusty the moment my friends played this course. It was something new after years of familiarity. We got 10th, 11th, and 12th, and this is when I realized Mario Kart Tour was different than other games. I had to do research as to why we went backwards on the third lap. Mario Kart had multiple versions of every track that the Booster Course Pass combines into one course tour. I actually enjoy this a lot about the tour courses, and Paris is one of the most memorable ones, and it was impactful on me compared to the other city courses. It's a great start to the new ones. 3DS Toad Circuit. I love starting Mario Kart 7 with Toad Circuit. Simple and became one of my favorite circuit courses. I was excited for it to return in the past. But nothing was different. It was exactly as it was in Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart Tour. No anti-gravity, nothing. Why did they keep doing these to 3DS courses? I mean, it's a basic circuit course, it's the 50th course of the game. N64 Choco Mountain. Brittany, we can't fall off in this version. I have a history with the original version of this course, but this one is quite improved because you can't fall. But again, there was nothing special to this course. Wii Coconut Mall. I love Coconut Mall in Mario Kart Wii. I was excited when Mario Kart 7 brought it back and added a glider pad. I did not need it back again. I stuck it with Baby Park and Yoshi's Circuit. I want variation in retro courses, not the same courses over and over. And this course is actually worse than the 3DS version. The cars don't move in the final turn, they just sit there. It's just a bland course. So, 4 courses in, let me get this out of the way. For a lot of these courses, I find them bland. The feel of the first wave of this DLC was not great. I will not mention blandness again, but a lot of these courses are just copied from Mario Kart Tour and Mario Kart 7 with no improvements. I will simply call them copied from now on because it happens quite a bit going forward, especially early on. I personally think this first wave, they were just kind of relearning how to do Mario Kart, and they honestly do get better as time went on, but man, it did not start out well. Tour Tokyo Blur. It's a very small course, but I actually enjoy it. Every lap is completely different, just going across different parts of Tokyo, and it's a little pretty. Not a lot is going on, but I mean, if I was driving in a real city, I would not expect as much to go on as some of the other courses. But the music doesn't really make me think of Japan, honestly. DS Shroom Ridge. Hey, a course that was not on tour before this. The only change they made from the original version was putting cars from Toad's Turnpike and I think having some item boxes move on the track. I think there may be another few shortcuts added towards the end of the track, but I'm doing all this from memory before I go and playing them, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't feel too different. GBA Skygarden. My favorite course from Mario Kart DS backing. It's not a bad version of the course, but if I wanted to play a cloudy course with vines, I will go back to Cloud Top Cruise. At least I put a glider ramp into this course, even if it is copied from Mario Kart Tour. Ninja Hideaway. This is one of the non-city courses debuted in Mario Kart Tour, but did not have the Tour prefix in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I will just say, this course is amazing. This is my favorite course from Wave 1. It felt unique, the music was great, there's so many paths, it was difficult, they ended Wave 1 on a positive note. Now funnily enough, when the next wave came up, they updated all the original 8 courses, they changed the icons for the courses, they changed the lighting, they made the cars in Coconut Mall move, they even actually added the mud effect on Choco Mountain for the tires like you see on other courses. I truly feel this first wave maybe was rushed or they were still learning, and I know it's only been 8 courses, but I swear I have fewer complaints as this goes on, even if copies do still exist. Tour New York Minute. This track reminds me a lot of the nighttime car tracks like Mushroom City and this game's very own Toad's Turnpike. I really not can remember a lot about this track from memory, which is something that I dislike about a lot of the tour tracks. They don't really have anything that stands out because they were generic mobile game tracks based on cities. Some of them definitely make me excited, but this was not one of them. SNES Mario Circuit 3, another course that comes from the flat Super Mario Kart game, and this is one has nothing new with it. It is another reused retro course though, and you know how I feel about them. Not much else to say. N64 Calamari Desert. Oh yay, another course from Mario Kart 7, just thrown in. This is what I initially thought at least. While laps 1 and 2 are nothing special, I had no idea Mario Kart Tour altered lap 3 so much. Even 3 years later, this still trips me up and I love it. I wish they did more cool things like this with old courses in the future. They do in this past, but just future. DS Waluigi Pinball. Wow, another Mario Kart 7 course. Did not see that coming. And a copied course, even better. I was honestly never a big fan of this course, even in Mario Kart DS. I know it's a fan favorite, but it's just kind of another course with balls. The actual pinball board is actually kind of cool, though. Tour Sydney Sprint. The big thing that I think I remember from this is you hop into like the Opera House or glide into it. I think you glide into it. Maybe you just jump. I might be misremembering. And I also just learned while writing this that social media for this game called this place the Boomerang Flowers official habitat, which is actually kind of humorous. GBA Snowland. Hey, another new course that was not in a game before this besides the original. This was another one of those courses that are super small and hard to catch up on, and I definitely struggled with this one in the Grand Prix mode. But I do love snow, and the penguins are cute, so it will get a pass. Wii Mushroom Gorge. This was my favorite course in Mario Kart Wii, and so I was happy when it returned in Mario Kart 7. But I definitely did not need it back in Mario Kart 8. The thing that made it fun in the Wii game was actually the floaty nature of the game itself. The thing I ironically said, the reason I'm not a big fan of the Wii game. Mario Kart 7 showed me that taking away the unpredictable nature of the bouncing mushrooms made this course bleh. And since this game is kind of based on Mario Kart 7 in appearance, mechanics, and being copied, I kind of have similar opinions. Maybe they could have added some anti-gravity in this cave part to make it more Mario Kart 8, but I don't know. But at least I still have this cool shortcut that I definitely know how to do. Sky High Sunday. This course was interesting because it was introduced in this and Mario Kart Tour around the same time, and it's actually pretty fun and unique. The course is actually anti-gravity. Even though it's another loop like a site-bag arena, the anti-gravity gives it a floaty feeling that makes driving off the cliffs fun. It's surprisingly chaotic with this multitude of paths you can take. A great course I'm happy to see coming back in the next installment. Tour London Loop. Oh yes, the British. With the big truck and their double-decker buses. I do like the Mario chaos that is added through some of these courses though. Like, you're telling me when I go driving through London, I'm going to get attacked by giant metal dogs when I take this really wide turn? I love it. GBA Boo Lake. I forgot this course was even in the game, but at least it has some updated aspects, even if it was also in Mario Kart Tour. They had underwater driving, and even though I did not realize it initially, it even has some anti-gravity. It gave this course some personality that many early Booster Course Pass tracks did not have. 3DS Rock Mountain. I really enjoyed this course in Mario Kart 7. It was the course to introduce how dynamic the gliding sections could be, so I was ready for this to be a copied course, but I remember distinctly that final hill the first time I played it for YouTube. The hill had anti-gravity. It was the first time I noticed it, and to me it showed they were finally figuring out what they were doing, and I was very grateful for that. Wii Maple Treeway, another of my favorite Mario Kart Wii courses I was happy to see returned into Mario Kart 7 and now copied into Mario Kart 8. Except they did change one thing. Kind of. They brought back the half-pipe sections from Mario Kart Wii, making them anti-gravity panels. Definitely something I was surprised to see when I first played this course. Tour Berlin Byways. To be honest, I don't know much about the architecture or the tourist aspect of Berlin or Germany, even though I am planning a trip to go there in 2026. What I do know is there is a wall of womps in this course that my friend declared was the Berlin Wall the first time we played, and I will never forget that. Otherwise, it's a tour city course. DS Peach Gardens. This course was retroing Mario Kart Wii after DS, so I was not expecting much. But it's another one of those courses like Calamari Desert that Mario Kart Tour changed on the third lap. You drive backwards on the course and it adds that unique flair that Calamari Desert, and Paris Promenade have. It turned a course I tend to enjoy into something even more memorable. Merry Mountain. I was surprised Mario Kart has a holiday-themed track, but here we are. And I rather enjoy this one. It captures the holiday spirit very well, and even makes it Mario Kart 8 with some sections of anti-gravity. I like the sleigh that drives that reminds me of the train in N64 Rainbow Road. Christmas is my favorite holiday, so I enjoy the theming a lot. 3DS Rainbow Road. My favorite Rainbow Road is back. Heck yeah. I like this course because it had so many set pieces, from the road itself to driving on the planet's rings to the moon to the spinning things at the end. It is pretty much copied from its previous appearances, but it has anti-gravity on the moon to mirror Lunar Colony Battle Course. 10 out of 10. Best way to end the first year of booster coursing. Tour Amsterdam Drift. Along with Berlin, I don't know much about Amsterdam. My favorite part of this course has to be that last lap though. I love driving through the field of tulips with the windmills in the backgrounds. It reminds me of Daisy Hills from Mario Kart 7, which I loved because of the floral aspects. GBA Riverside Park. This is a GBA course that they really overhauled from this version. It has beautiful lighting look with the sunset. The course feels natural with gentle slopes instead of the level track from the original. I also enjoy anytime I can see stocking piranha plants, especially ones blowing items, like in Mario Bros. 3. Wii DK Summit. This is a course that can be very trick-heavy in Mario Kart Wii. I liked the little snowmounds and dodging the skiing Shy Guys, even though I was terrible at it. This course really does not change much from the original, but it does keep the trick pads similar to the original End Maple Treeway. Yoshi's Island, a brand new course that inspires perfectly from Yoshi's Island. The coins are replaced with Yoshi coins. There is a floating cloud that when hit makes a bridge appear like the original game. It has enemies like Stilt Skies and Huffin' Puffins. It's one of the courses that launched prior to Mario Kart Tour, and one that was brand new, and I rather enjoy it. Tour Bangkok Rush. Now, I will say, I am an American, but I don't fall into a lot of the stereotypes. I did pay attention in school. I know the world does not revolve around the US. I loved my geography classes. That being said, I had no clue where Bangkok was before it. I'm not even sure if I had heard of it. I do feel like this course captures the feeling of being in a crowded, bustling city, even though I've not technically experienced this directly. I like driving through the market and seeing the highways above me, though. DS Mario Circuit. As I've said before, Mario Kart DS was the one that got me into Mario Kart, and every Mario Kart game has its Mario Circuit. So it's cool to see my original in the game. Nothing has really changed, unfortunately, but it did give me a great sense of nostalgia with the Goombas and the fire piranha plants. GCN Waluigi Stadium. Dang it, this is not the Wah Stadium I wanted to see. We need Wario. Finish Mario Kart 64. But this is definitely a chaotic course with the off-roading and fake piranha plant wall things and fire bars and multitude of trick ramps. It is basically copied from Mario Kart Wii, but I will give this one a pass because it actually provides a nice challenge. Tour Singapore Speedway. I also had no idea where Singapore was, but I had heard of this one before. The course is beautiful. I love driving through the Chinatown, driving on the gardens by the bay. The view gliding over the river towards the end is unparalleled. This is one of the most memorable of the city courses for me because it felt unique and not just driving on a street. Tour Athens Dash. I struggle every time I play this course with the multiple paths during the different laps. I try to take the wrong paths and get put back on the course a lot when I've not played it in a while. I also drive into walls quite a bit with the sections with the pillars. That's all really I remember about this course. GCN Daisy Cruiser. Another copied course from 7 and Tour. I do enjoy the idea of driving on a cruise ship, but this late in the past I was disappointed to see a course without really anything special. I honestly don't even remember it being in the game. Wii Moonview Highway. I was really excited for this course to return because I remember it being chaotic as heck in Mario Kart Wii. I remember the course being confusing with lots of strange twists and turns. I do not remember why I thought this. It's a loop, and the cars seem a lot easier to avoid in this version, but at least it looks gorgeous with the neon lights in the nighttime. Squeaky Clean Sprint. Duck. Another new course for the Booster Course Pass. I actually enjoyed this one. The idea of driving through a bathroom is cute, and I love that it brings back the small concept of Ribbon Road in the base game. It's a nice change of pace considering driving in real cities so often. I also like the glider section towards the end through the water stream or something. Plus it has a duck, so how can you hate this course? Tour Los Angeles Laps. This is the only city course in the entire game where the city I have actually been to. And they captured the essence of Los Angeles very well, especially when you are going through the oil field. I honestly did not do very many touristy things in LA, but this course is definitely beachy and touristy. I like the baseball stadium part, mostly because I like baseball. GBA Sunset Wilds. I'm honestly surprised how many GBA courses made it into this game, and they are all actually really fun and beautiful. It's crazy. Not too much to say about this other than I am disappointed they did not have changing sunset in the skies as the laps progress. I just learned that happened even in Tour, so I'm guessing it had something to do with everyone being able to watch this course on one TV, aka being on a home console. Wii Koopa Cape. Haven't said this yet in a while, but yay! Another course from Mario Kart 7. At least this one has some upgrades, but with the underwater section being anti-gravity as well. But I do rather enjoy Koopa Cape, so I'm not hating it being here. Just realized my favorite Mario Kart Wii courses made it into Mario Kart 7, and then every Mario Kart Wii course in 7 is now also in 8, so that's interesting. Tour Vancouver Velocity. Wait, I have been to Vancouver too, but this was nearly 2 years after this course release in Mario Kart 8. The thing I remember from this is the ice rink areas. You have to go in different areas leaving it if I remember correctly. I also remember anti-gravity in this section, which is really unique for a city course, because in a real life you can't drive in anti-gravity. But Cold Nighttime City is perfection. Tour Rome Avanti. I'm gonna be honest, I do not remember anything about this course. I think by Wave 6 I was just getting bored of city courses since they are all pretty generic. I will maybe show some parts I found memorable after playing it again, and I assume you go through the Roman Colosseum. GCN DK Mountain. I'm not a fan of this course in either Double Dash or Mario Kart Wii. I don't like the rickety bridge at the end, the sharp turns, the weird shortcuts those pro Mario Kart Wii players would do. Nothing really has changed much for this course, so it exists in the game, I guess. Wii Daisy Circuit. This was my favorite circuit in Mario Kart Wii because I loved how the Miis could take place in the Luigi and Daisy statues. I actually got in trouble because I made a joke because the Miis that showed up once were my sister and my stepbrother, and I made a joke and no one understood what I was saying and got really mad at me. But other than the gliding ramp, nothing really else has changed in this course, as with most of the circuits added. Piranha Plant Cove is another one of the non-city courses from Mario Kart Tour. This one also had 3 completely different laps, which makes it unique from the other ones introducing Mario Kart Tour. It really captures the horrors of being in the depths of the sea beautifully. While I do not remember much about this course, I will mention one thing. We have only one city course coming up. We have one more city course coming up next, but the Mario Kart Tour track Piranha Plant Pipeline is the only course not to make it in the game. I wish they got them all into a non-mobile release, but alas, it is not the case. And Tour Madrid Drive. Football! I like driving through this museum. I like driving through the museum and getting eaten by plants. And I also enjoyed that when you glide through the fountain. My favorite part is driving through the Goombas and skates playing football. It's just a cute set piece for the final city course of the game. 3DS Rosalina's Ice World. I rather enjoyed this course in Mario Kart 7. It was beautiful, and I enjoyed how subsequent laps had more and more of the ice breaking. I liked how you could use a mushroom to stay on top of the ice instead of going underwater. And Space Princess and Icy was just a positive in my book. SNES Bowser's Castle 3, the second to last course, and it's a Bowser's Castle. They knew what they were doing after all. They definitely chose a chaotic one with the multiple flat ones from the original in Super Circuit. I like the part with the segments of the hopping over the lava. It felt fast, and they even added anti-gravity, so it was honestly a Mario Kart 8 course. Though I would have preferred if they did one of the more memorable Bowser's Castles that they haven't done yet from Double Dash, DS, Wii, or 7. And Wii Rainbow Road. Here we are, the grand finale of the Booster Course Pass. And with the 5th Rainbow Road of the game, and it's definitely an iconic Rainbow Road. With the anti-gravity and jumpy pits. And it's one of the hardest ones I have played. And in Grand Prix mode, it really took me a long time to get first place, but I would not have it any other way to finish this. And if you were paying attention, there is no Wario Stadium from Mario Kart 64, probably because the DS one in the DS Wario Stadium is in the game, but it would have been cool to see Mario Kart 64 completed, but it will be this year. And overall, the Booster Course Pass was not terrible. It definitely got a lot better over time. But for me, Mario Kart 8 was also just kind of pretty dead when they added the DLC. One other thing they did during either Wave 3 or 4 was alter the stats of all the vehicles and maybe even the characters. So Waluigi Wiggler was replaced by the Yoshi Taggy Buggy as the best car in the game. But I was over Mario Kart 8 by the time the Booster Course Pass came out, and to the point where I don't know these courses nearly as well as I do the original 48, and I'd like to get more into them, but I don't know how much I'm going to be touching Mario Kart 8, moving forward, which is kind of sad. I'm sure I will. Not all of my friends are going to be able to get a Switch 2 immediately, so Mario Kart 8 will be one of those things that I'll have to play from a distance, because everyone lives so far apart now, and going to even further apart. I think that's one thing I like about Nintendo, is it definitely can bring us together in a very more friendly environment than some other consoles, because the way I'm an online gamer is very different. Lastly, I've put my statistics on the screen from the stats menu. It's the final thing I haven't showed, but I love this game. It's my favorite Mario Kart game after playing all of them. It was polished, it has fun courses, characters, I love kart customizations, but I'm also happy that that's going away simultaneously. But I am looking forward to the next game in the series, and I'm so happy to leave on such a positive note. And if you made it through this entire video, thank you so much for watching, and please, if you've made it this far, I'll see you next race. Au revoir.